Okay, guys, this might hurt. Again, if you're new to the channel. Okay, yeah. Anyway, I've been shuffling these cards because I think they weren't really perfectly shuffled yesterday. But I think we're good now. So we're just going to jump right in and see what current energies are. Hope your day was fantastic. Mine was great. I got convinced my aunt to go to Dutch Bros for me to get the magnets that dropped at 3, and apparently it was a clusterfuck. And she toughed it out for me for 45 minutes, and big shout out to you, Aunt Felicia. Thank you so much. Of course, she said she'd never do it again, so there's that. I don't blame her. What we got was the Knight of Wands. So we've seen this before this week too. Current energy, just fast moving, right? Letting things go. Taking that wisdom, that creative wisdom the creative knowledge rather, that we spent the Ace through the 10 learning, and then now at the level of Knight, kind of turning that stuff into wisdom. But it's happened really, really fast. So really fast energy. Let's see what we have to go with the Knight of Wands. What's up? We have, this one fell first. The Moon. Not really sure yet, right? And I love that there's a lobster. Is it a lobster? Is it a crab? I don't know. We keep arguing about this because there's another deck I have, the Astro Matrix, where it looks like a lobster, but it is the card of Cancer, right? So, because Cancer, the moon rules the sign of Cancer, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Either way, that's what we're going with. And this is things that will be revealed, right? So they're wearing masks, not being fully authentic yet. So think about the things that we do in our lives that we have to wear a mask for, right? So like when you go to work, you can't be the same person you are at home for the most part. You know, you have the mom hat, you have the daughter hat, you have the sister hat, you have the grandma hat, you have the counselor hat, and you have the, all the different hats that we wear. But at some point, we find our people or person with whom we can take all of this off, right? The masks and so forth, so that we can be our true authentic selves. And so we're not quite there yet, right? Not quite there yet. But again, we're just coming out of the void, letting things go very, very quickly. And when we talk about welcoming new people into our lives or new situations and so forth, we kind of have to keep things hidden a little bit, right? You don't want to be so authentic and so vulnerable when you first meet people that you're giving them information that they could use against you later, right? We have to be discerning, and we have to be really careful about that. We have the Strength card in reverse and the Nine of Swords in reverse. So Strength card is, of course, that's taming the inner shrew, I like to call it. So what are we overthinking? I feel like that's overthinking. And just letting your mind run away with itself, and not talking things out or even really thinking them out, right? So I was talking to my clients today, and letting them know that the minute you say something out loud or write it down, your woolly mammoth, your subconscious mind, can stop ruminating on something because it knows that you have taken it seriously. You have given it its due. You're going to remember it, and it can finally stop reminding you of those things. But this is woolly mammoth continuing to remind you of something. You have not quite resolved it in your mind yet. And that doesn't necessarily mean resolved the problem, but just put it out of your mind, right? You haven't taken control over that thought yet. And then the Knight of Swords, which is actually in the upright would be overthinking, but now it's opposite, right? So it's kind of contradictory, right? Because this is overthinking, and this is not overthinking. So maybe the balance between the two, right? So how can you give a problem its due attention, but not overthink it so much that it overtakes you? There's a balance in the middle there somewhere, that would be where we need to be, right? I'm just going to look up Nine of Swords in reverse, just because I feel like I don't know, I want to. Rest, recovery, healing, relief. So giving yourself that time to rest and find the balance between the two. I stand by my first interpretation of the card, although it's not necessarily the traditional interpretation. I stand by mine, finding that balance of not overthinking it, but giving it its proper due. And what we don't see coming, well, it was upside down. It was in the reverse, Ace of Cups. So some stalled start with emotion. And maybe this means that you're just giving too much to everyone else and you're not filling your own cup first. Let's see. For advice, I would think it would be letting yourself feel the thing, right? Letting yourself feel the thing. So whatever disappointment, whatever new love or new situation that didn't start that you had anticipated might start, it's going to be sad for a minute, right? So honor that time and give yourself time to grieve from that thing. It may or may not be coming. So holidays are coming up. We were talking about this in my IOP today, and it can be really triggering for a lot of people because it's either a time when someone passed, or at least in my group today, or it's a time when the family, because I work with people who struggle with addiction, so maybe it was a time when the families didn't want them around. Or maybe they struggle with addiction and the family continues to drink, which can be very triggering for them. So setting those boundaries and making sure that they're safe in their recovery can be really triggering for people. So the holidays are really hard. So it might mean something like, I can't go to my family's house because they drink during the holidays. Or I have to set a boundary I'm not used to setting by asking them not to drink. Or I haven't been invited. But there's some sort of heart-wrenching situation that may or may not come up. So prepare for that, okay? Just prepare for that. Have a plan. Have a support system. Get your 3 phone numbers ready for the things that, get your 3 numbers ready in case you need to reach out to your support system. You already have the people that you know you're not going to be a burden for. All right? All right, that's it for today. So I hope that didn't hurt too much. We'll talk soon.